Have you ever poured yourself a glass of milk thinking you were doing something good for your bones, only to feel those aching knees or that nagging back pain? For decades, we've all been told that milk is nature's answer to strong bones and lasting health. But what if I told you that some of the most popular milks sitting on supermarket shelves can actually weaken your bones, fuel painful inflammation, and even cloud your memory, especially after 60? I've observed it repeatedly in my own patients, and the research confirms this finding. The wrong milk can quietly speed up aging instead of slowing it down. And here is the part most people don't realize. The symptoms often feel so ordinary, we brush them off as just getting older. Maybe you've noticed brittle nails, muscle cramps that wake you up at night, or brain fog that makes you forget why you walked into the kitchen. These aren't random signs of aging. They can be tied directly to what's in your glass. Let me share a quick story. John, a 67-year-old grandfather from Ohio, came to me frustrated. He thought he was protecting his bones by drinking store-bought almond milk every single day. But within just a few months, he was diagnosed with pre-diabetes. His knees hurt worse than ever, and he felt more tired than before. He couldn't believe that something he thought was healthy might actually be working against him. The truth is, 4 types of milk can silently harm seniors, and 4 much better options that have been proven to strengthen bones, sharpen memory, and even soothe digestion. In this video, I'll walk you through each step by step, and please make sure you stick with me until the very end, because the most dangerous milk of all is likely one you already have sitting in your fridge right now. I'm Dr. Anthony, and on this channel, it's Senior Foods. I take complex science and translate it into simple, life-changing choices you can make today. So, before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. If you've ever felt that same confusion, doing your best to stay healthy, but still struggling with aching joints or foggy memory, just type a quick yes in the comments. It lets me know you're not alone, and it helps others in our community feel understood too. And with that in mind, let us dive into the first part, the 4 worst milks that can quietly harm seniors over 60. The first mistake many seniors make is believing that sweetened almond milk is a healthy choice. It's on the shelf with a big plant-based label, often showing almonds and green leaves, making it look like the perfect swap for regular milk. But what most people don't realize is that many cartons hide 12 to 15 grams of added sugar per serving. That's nearly 3 teaspoons of sugar in a single glass. When sugar sneaks in like this, it doesn't just sweeten your drink. It triggers a dangerous chain reaction in your body. For older adults, added sugar raises insulin resistance, meaning your body struggles to manage blood sugar levels. Over time, this makes you more vulnerable to type 2 diabetes, belly fat that just won't go away, and chronic inflammation. Inflammation, in turn, accelerates aging at the cellular level, damaging your joints, your brain, and even your heart. And here's the hidden why behind the danger. As we age, our pancreas doesn't release insulin as effectively as it once did, and our cells become less sensitive to it. What that means is the same sugary drink that a 20-year-old body can process easily will linger and wreak havoc in someone over 60. This is why one innocent glass of sweetened almond milk can set the stage for tired afternoons, brain fog, and aching joints. You may already recognize some of the signs: feeling sleepy or sluggish after breakfast, even if you had a light meal, gaining weight around your belly despite eating less, or waking up with stiff knees and fingers that don't loosen until midday. These aren't just random signs of getting older. They are your body's alarm system, warning you that hidden sugars are causing inflammation and metabolic stress. Research confirms this link. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults who consumed high levels of added sugar had a significantly greater risk of frailty, diabetes, and memory decline. Another report from the Mayo Clinic highlighted that even moderate amounts of added sugar can fuel arthritis flare-ups and make weight management nearly impossible past age 60. These are no part of small effects. They are life-changing consequences. Take Linda, a 72-year-old grandmother from Florida. She switched to sweetened almond milk, thinking it would help her cut calories and protect her bones. But within months she found her fasting blood sugar creeping into the pre-diabetic range. Her doctor was puzzled until they went over her diet. That one carton of almond milk, something she thought was healthy, was quietly undoing all her efforts to eat better. So, what should you do? First, stop trusting the front of the carton. Always check the nutrition label. If you see more than 1 or 2 grams of sugar per serving, it's not a good choice. Second, switch to unsweetened almond milk. The unsweetened versions often have 0 added sugar, and many are fortified with calcium and vitamin D, nutrients essential for bone strength as you age. Finally, remember that real almonds themselves are a safe, natural snack. A small handful of raw or lightly roasted almonds provides protein, magnesium, and healthy fats without the hidden sugar trap. This simple swap can make a powerful difference. By choosing unsweetened, fortified almond milk, or going straight to whole foods like almonds, you give your body what it needs: nourishment without the sugar spike. Your bones, your joints, and even your memory will thank you. But sweetened almond milk isn't the only hidden danger. Another popular healthy option that can backfire after 60 is oat milk, if it is not fortified. The second big mistake many older adults make is trusting unfortified oat milk as a safe daily choice. On the surface, it feels wholesome. The carton shows golden oats and words like natural or heart-friendly. Many people switch to it, thinking they're doing something good for their bodies. But the truth is, if your oat milk isn't fortified, it leaves out 2 of the most essential nutrients for aging bones: calcium and vitamin D. And without those nutrients, every sip slowly works against your strength. Here's why that matters. Oat milk is mostly carbohydrate. That means when you drink it, your blood sugar can rise quickly. For a younger body, that spike may not cause much harm, but after 60, the pancreas doesn't produce insulin as efficiently, and the muscles don't absorb sugar as quickly. Instead, the sugar lingers, creating inflammation and pulling minerals like calcium and magnesium out of your bones in the process. That's why, over time, unfortified oat milk can make bones weaker instead of stronger. The core reason is simple. Aging changes the way your body handles both sugar and nutrients. Calcium absorption drops by almost 20% in people over 60. At the same time, your skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight. Without enough vitamin D, even the calcium you do eat doesn't reach your bones. So if your healthy oat milk isn't fortified, it's not filling those gaps. It's leaving your bones hungry. And those hidden deficiencies show up in ways many seniors already recognize. Think about the last time you felt an energy crash in the afternoon, even after a light breakfast, or when your grip felt weaker as you opened a jar, or those nights you woke up 2 or 3 times just to use the bathroom. These aren't random signs of getting old. They can all be connected to unstable blood sugar, bone mineral loss, and lack of vitamin D. The oat milk in your fridge could be part of that puzzle. Science backs this up. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging showed that seniors with low vitamin D and calcium intake had a much higher risk of fractures, even from small falls. Another study from the National Institute on Aging found that poor blood sugar control not only weakens bones, but also accelerates memory decline. These are just numbers on a page. They'd read warnings that what seems like a harmless morning drink can add up to real danger. Let me tell you about Tom, a 64-year-old from Michigan. He told me proudly that he had given up soda and switched to oat milk because it felt natural. For months, he drank it every morning with his cereal. But when his doctor ordered a bone density scan, the results showed early signs of osteoporosis. Tom was shocked. He thought he had made a healthy change, but without calcium and vitamin D, his body was missing the very nutrients it needed most. So what can you do right now? First, check your carton. If your oat milk isn't fortified with calcium and vitamin D, it's time to make a change. Look for brands that list at least 300 milligrams of calcium and 100 international units of vitamin D per serving. Second, keep an eye on portion size. A small glass is fine, but filling your coffee mug to the brim can mean a sugar spike you don't need. And here's the good news. Oats themselves aren't the enemy. Whole oats in your breakfast can support healthy digestion and steady energy. But when it comes to oat milk, the fortified kind is the only version that truly protects your bones and your memory. Tom made the switch, and just 6 months later, his follow-up scan showed stronger bone density. That's the power of choosing wisely. Now, let us turn to a more familiar kind of milk, the traditional cow milk you've probably known all your life. But not all cow's milk is created equal, and one type in particular can be especially harmful as we age. The problem with ultra-pasteurized A1 cow milk is not something you will see on the label in big bold letters. At first glance, it looks like the same healthy milk you grew up with. But here's the catch. It often comes from cows that produce a type of protein called A1 casein, and for many older adults, that protein can quietly fuel inflammation throughout the body. On top of that, the ultra-pasteurization process, done to extend shelf life, heats the milk at extremely high temperatures. This destroys many of the natural enzymes that would normally help you digest it more comfortably. So instead of being gentle on your stomach, this milk can actually become harder to tolerate as you age. Scientists have been looking into this for years. Several studies suggest that A1 casein breaks down into a peptide called BCM7 in the gut. BCM7 has been linked to digestive discomfort, inflammation, and in some research even neurological effects like slower brain processing. When you combine that with the loss of natural enzymes from ultra-pasteurization, it's like taking away the body's tools to handle the problem. No wonder so many older adults report bloating, cramping, and even foggy thinking after switching to this type of milk. Now, why does this matter more as you get older? Here's the core reason. When you're young, your digestive system produces plenty of lactase and other enzymes to break down proteins and sugars in milk. But as we age, enzyme production naturally declines. That means what your body once handled with ease now feels like a burden. Inflammation also builds more easily in older tissues. Joints, the brain, even the lining of your gut all become more sensitive to inflammatory triggers like A1 casein. So what might have been a minor issue at 30 can become a daily discomfort at 70. If you've noticed you wake up with stiff joints or your stomach feels heavy and bloated after a simple glass of milk, you're not alone. Some people also describe a kind of forgetfulness or mental haze after drinking A1 milk regularly. These are not random signs of just getting old. They're signals from your body asking you to pay attention to what you're putting inside it. John, a retired teacher I once spoke with, used to think his morning joint pain was simply arthritis setting in. But when he cut out A1 milk, something surprising happened. Within weeks, his stiffness eased, his digestion improved, and he even joked that his crossword puzzles got a little easier. For him, the link was clear. Research backs this up. Clinical studies show that people who switch from A1 milk to A2 milk often experience less bloating, fewer digestive issues, and even lower inflammation markers in the blood. Some animal studies suggest that reducing A1 casein intake may also support healthier brain function over time. It's not magic. It's simply removing a trigger the body struggles with. So here's the simple step you can take. If you're drinking ultra-pasteurized A1 milk and dealing with these issues, stop buying it. Look for alternatives. A2 milk, which comes from cows producing a gentler form of casein, is now available in many American grocery stores. Goat's milk is another option, easier on digestion for many people. And fermented choices like kefir not only avoid the A1 protein problem, but also add probiotics to help your gut. Food plays a powerful role here. You don't need supplements or complicated routines. Just by choosing the right kind of milk, you can give your body relief, protect your joints, and even sharpen your memory. And that's the hopeful part. With one small change in your fridge, you can feel lighter, clearer, and more comfortable in your own body every single day. So if these are the kinds of milk you should avoid, what about the ones that actually support your health? Let's move into Part B, my top 4 best milks for seniors. One of the best choices for seniors who still enjoy milk is goat milk. At first, it may sound unusual, especially if you've spent a lifetime drinking cow's milk. But here's the truth. Goat milk is naturally easier to digest, contains fewer of the inflammatory proteins found in regular cow's milk, and it's rich in minerals like calcium, magnesium, and selenium. Selenium in particular is a powerful immune booster, something every older body can benefit from. Doctors explain that the main difference lies in the protein structure. Goat milk contains A2-type casein, which is gentler on the digestive tract compared to the A1 protein found in most cow S milk sold in America. Because of this, it doesn't trigger the same inflammatory response in the gut. The fat globules in goat milk are also much smaller, which means your stomach doesn't have to work as hard to break them down. For an aging digestive system that already produces fewer enzymes, this makes a big difference. Here's the deeper why. As we age, the body slows down its production of lactase, the enzyme that breaks down lactose in milk. At the same time, tissues become more sensitive to inflammation. That's why many seniors who never had trouble with milk suddenly find themselves bloated, sluggish, or achy after a glass of cow's milk. Goat milk sidesteps much of this problem. With its smaller fat molecules, lower lactose content, and anti-inflammatory protein profile, it feels lighter and friendlier to an older digestive system. Think about some of the common discomforts you may have noticed. Gas or bloating after cereal in the morning, stiff joints that take an hour to loosen up, low energy in the afternoon, even after a good night's rest. Sometimes, even a clouded mind makes reading or conversation harder to enjoy. These aren't just signs of old age. Often, they're signs of the body struggling against foods it can no longer process well. Goat milk has been shown to ease these exact issues, giving people steadier energy, calmer digestion, and a clearer head. Science backs this up. Research published in the Journal of Dairy Science found that goat milk improved iron and calcium absorption compared to cow S milk, which is crucial for maintaining strong bones in later years. Another study highlighted its prebiotic qualities, showing that it helps nourish healthy gut bacteria. A balanced gut doesn't just improve digestion. It strengthens the immune system and even supports a more stable mood. Evelyn, a 69-year-old retiree from Ohio, shared a story that many can relate to. She loved her morning milk with coffee, but always paid the price with stomach cramps and bloating. Her daughter suggested she try goat milk instead. Within weeks, Evelyn noticed the difference. Her digestion calmed down, she had more energy to play with her grandkids, and even her mood improved. She said, "I didn't realize how much my milk was weighing me down until I switched." So, here's the simple action. If cow's milk leaves you uncomfortable, stop forcing it. Try goat milk instead. It's now widely available in many grocery stores across the U.S., often in the same refrigerated section as cow's milk. Look for pasteurized plain versions without added sugar. If you want even more benefits, try fermented goat milk like kefir, which adds probiotics for extra gut support. Food plays a healing role here. By choosing goat milk, you're not giving something up. You're gaining comfort, strength, and peace of mind. This one change can leave you feeling lighter, more energetic, and more in tune with your body every single day. But goat milk isn't the only option. If you're looking for a plant-based choice, there's one type of almond milk that truly stands out. Many seniors grew up with the habit of drinking cow's milk every day. But as we get older, that familiar glass of milk can cause more problems than it solves. For people in their 60s and 70s, cow's milk may bring bloating, mucus, or stomach discomfort. That's why more and more doctors and nutritionists recommend a lighter, plant-based alternative. Unsweetened fortified almond milk is one of the best. Almond milk with no added sugar is gentle on digestion, and it doesn't overload your system with unnecessary calories. It's usually enriched with calcium and vitamin D, both of which your bones desperately need as you age. And it naturally contains vitamin E, an antioxidant linked to sharper brain function and healthier skin. For seniors worried about memory loss, brittle bones, or feeling sluggish, almond milk can be a safe and smart choice. Here's the deeper reason why this matters in older age. As the body gets older, it doesn't absorb calcium and vitamin D from food as efficiently as before. At the same time, bone density decreases, making fractures more likely. The brain also becomes more vulnerable to oxidative stress, which is strongly linked to memory decline. Vitamin E helps protect brain cells from that stress. That's why almond milk becomes not just a tasty drink, but almost like a simple form of medicine that works quietly in the background. Many older adults recognize the symptoms connected with the lack of these nutrients: constant tiredness, thinning skin, more wrinkles, and trouble remembering names or conversations. These aren't just normal signs of aging, they are warning lights. And when seniors swap sugary, heavy dairy products for unsweetened, fortified almond milk, they often notice small but meaningful changes: clearer skin, lighter digestion, and, surprisingly, a brighter and sharper mind. Research backs this up. A study from Tufts University highlighted the role of vitamin E in slowing down cognitive decline. Meanwhile, decades of research confirm the necessity of calcium and vitamin D in preventing fractures among older adults. By drinking almond milk that's fortified with these nutrients, seniors may actually reduce their risk of falls and broken hips, two of the most dangerous events in later life. So, what can you do right now? The corrective action is simple. If your fridge is full of flavored almond milk or sweetened versions, stop buying them. The added sugar only harms your heart, your waistline, and your memory. Choose only unsweetened and fortified versions. And don't just sip a tiny amount, make it a daily ritual. Pour it over oatmeal, blend it into a smoothie, or enjoy a small glass before bed. Food plays a central role here. Almonds are already a wonderful food, but turning them into milk makes the nutrients easier for older bodies to absorb. And unlike cow's milk, almond milk is free of lactose, so it won't trigger bloating or gas. Of course, food alone may not fully cover the gaps, which is why fortified almond milk, enriched with calcium and vitamin D, gives you the best of both worlds: natural plant nutrition plus targeted support for aging bones and brains. Let me share a simple story. Sam, a 73-year-old church volunteer, told me he used to feel embarrassed because he couldn't remember people's names during Sunday service. After switching his morning milk to unsweetened fortified almond milk, something changed. Within a few weeks, he noticed his memory felt clearer. One Sunday, he greeted everyone by name again, and his friends smiled. That small victory gave him confidence and joy, something that no pill had ever given him. So, if you want stronger bones, clearer skin, and a sharper memory, take a second look at what's sitting in your refrigerator. Sometimes the simplest change, 1 carton of almond milk, can bring surprising comfort and strength. Now, if you want something even more powerful, something that doesn't just nourish but actively heals, kefir is your answer. Now let's move on to something a little less familiar, but even more powerful: kefir. It looks like a cousin of yogurt, but it's thinner, tangier, and far more alive. Kefir is a fermented milk drink filled with probiotics, the healthy bacteria your gut needs to thrive. For seniors, this is a treasure. As we age, the diversity of our gut bacteria decreases, and that decline is tied to constipation, weak immunity, and even poor mood. By drinking kefir daily, you reintroduce a wide range of friendly bacteria into your digestive system, helping restore balance and strength. But the benefits don't stop at the gut. Scientists have found that kefir improves the body's ability to absorb key nutrients, including calcium and magnesium. That means the food you eat works harder for you, not just passing through. Even more remarkably, kefir seems to directly strengthen bones. Studies published in the journal Osteoporosis International show that older adults who drank kefir regularly had higher bone density and a lower risk of fractures. For seniors who worry about falling and breaking a hip, that is life-changing information. There's also an immune angle. Seniors often notice they catch colds more easily than before, or they take longer to recover from the flu. That's because the immune system grows weaker with age. Probiotics in kefir have been shown to enhance immune function, helping the body fight off infections more effectively. If you think about your own daily struggles, the signs of poor gut health may already be there: bloating, irregular bowels, feeling sluggish, or catching colds one after another. When seniors add kefir to their diet, many report calmer digestion, more regular bowel movements, stronger bones, and fewer sick days. These aren't just numbers in a study. They are real, visible improvements in daily life. Of course, there's scientific evidence to back up the stories. Clinical research has confirmed that kefir reduces inflammation in the gut, improves balance, and even lowers cholesterol. A Japanese study followed seniors who drank kefir and found fewer fractures and better stability when walking. The conclusion is clear: kefir is not just food, it's medicine for healthy aging. So what should you do? If you've never tried kefir, start small. A few ounces a day is enough to let your body adjust. Look for plain, unsweetened kefir at your local grocery store. Avoid the flavored bottles that are loaded with sugar. Mix it with berries or a spoon of honey if you need a touch of sweetness. The role of food here is even more powerful than supplements. No probiotic capsule can match the diversity of living bacteria in kefir. And unlike yogurt, which may contain only 1 or 2 strains of probiotics, kefir contains dozens. This diversity is what makes it so healing for seniors. Let me share a story from Margaret, age 74. For years, she complained that her bowels never felt normal. She bounced between constipation and sudden urgency, always nervous about leaving home for too long. At her daughter's suggestion, she started drinking a small glass of kefir every morning. Within weeks, her digestion calmed. For the first time in years, she said she felt steady and free. She smiled when she told me, "It feels like my body finally works with me, not against me." That is the quiet power of kefir. It doesn't shout. It doesn't promise miracles overnight. But with steady use, it builds resilience in your body, helping you face the challenges of aging with more comfort and confidence. So if you've ever wished for calmer digestion, stronger bones, and fewer colds, maybe it's time to let kefir take a place on your breakfast table. And finally, what if you miss the taste of regular milk but want a gentler, healthier version? That's where A2 milk comes in. The mistake many older adults make is giving up milk completely, thinking it no longer agrees with their body. They pour it out of their lives because every glass of regular milk seems to lead to gas, cramping, or that heavy, bloated feeling. But what they don't realize is that it might not be the milk itself. It's the protein inside it. When most people think of milk, they assume all milk is the same. But not all cows produce the same protein. Regular milk from the grocery store usually contains a mix of A1 and A2 proteins. The troublemaker here is the A1 protein. For many people, especially as we age and our digestion slows down, A1 protein can trigger inflammation in the gut. That's why some folks believe they are lactose intolerant, when in fact it's this protein irritating their system. Here's the science. A2 milk comes only from cows that naturally produce the A2 protein, without the A1 form. It's gentler on digestion, less inflammatory, and yet it keeps all the natural nutrients we need: calcium for strong bones, vitamin D for better absorption, and B12 for memory and nerve health. Researchers at the National Institutes of Health have pointed out that older adults often don Santi absorb these nutrients efficiently, which makes the right kind of milk not just helpful, but essential. Why does this matter so much as we age? Our bodies lose efficiency. We don't absorb vitamin D as well. Our bones grow thinner, making falls more dangerous. Our nerves need steady B12, but stomach acid needed for absorption declines with age. That's why the right type of milk isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Choosing A2 milk means you re-giving your body a fighting chance to keep these vital nutrients flowing. Think about the symptoms many older adults silently put up with: bloating after breakfast, unpredictable bathroom trips, foggy memory, or sudden dips in energy during the day. These aren't just minor annoyances, they are warning lights. For some, they're triggered by the wrong kind of milk. Switching to A2 often means these discomforts ease, the stomach calms, energy stabilizes, and memory feels clearer. Scientific studies back this up. A 2017 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults who drank A2 milk reported fewer digestive issues compared to those drinking regular milk. Other research points to reduced inflammation markers, which is critical because chronic inflammation is linked to heart disease, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. So here's the action step. Don't give up on milk. Instead, switch. Look for cartons labeled A2 milk at your local store. Drink one small glass with breakfast. Give your body 2 weeks to adjust. Pay attention to how you feel. Less bloating, more steady energy. That's your body telling you it approves. Food always plays a role, and in this case, A2 milk is both natural and nutrient-rich. Yes, leafy greens and fish bring calcium and vitamin D, but realistically, most older adults don't eat enough of them daily. A2 milk fills the gap safely, without the discomfort that regular milk brings. Let me share a story. Robert, a 66-year-old retired teacher, told me he hadn't touched milk in over 10 years. Every time he drank it, his stomach would twist in knots. He assumed it was lactose intolerance. Then he tried A2 milk. To his surprise, no cramps, no rushing to the bathroom. Instead, he enjoyed his morning cereal again, and he even noticed he had more consistent energy throughout the day. That's the real lesson. Don't blame milk itself. It's about choosing the right kind. For many older adults, that means giving A2 milk a chance. One small change, one small glass a day, can bring comfort back to your mornings and strength back to your years. So now you've seen both sides, the 4 worst milks to avoid and the 4 best to embrace. Let's wrap this up with one powerful reminder. Remember John from Ohio? For years he thought milk was his enemy. His mornings were filled with bloating, discomfort, and a quiet frustration he never told anyone about. But when he made one small switch, choosing kefir and later A2 milk, everything changed. His blood sugar steadied, his knees ached less, and today he laughs as he chases his grandkids across the backyard. That image alone tells us something powerful. The right choice at the right time can give us back moments we thought were gone forever. Here's the truth, plain and simple. Milk isn't just milk. For older adults, the kind of milk you choose can be the line between fragile bones that keep you from standing tall and strong independence that lets you keep dancing, walking, and living on your own terms. It's not about perfection. It's about small choices made again and again that stack up to a healthier, freer life. Now, I want to leave you with one important question. What is the single change you'll commit to this week? Maybe it's trying A2 milk instead of giving up milk altogether. Maybe it's reading the label a little more carefully at the grocery store. Or maybe just pouring yourself one small glass and paying attention to how your body responds. Whatever it is, make it real. Write your commitment in the comments below. Because when you share your step, you might inspire someone else to take theirs. And together, that's how we change lives. If this video gave you value, I invite you to join our growing community. Tap the like button to let us know you're with us. Subscribe to It's Senior Foods so you never miss another story filled with wisdom, comfort, and practical tips for living your best years. And please think of one friend, one brother, one sister, who might need stronger bones, a sharper mind, or simply a bit of encouragement today. Share this video with them. You never know. You might be the reason they feel better tomorrow. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.